You believe we're already coming to the end of the third week of Advent. Time this year seems to be passing us by different than it ever has. As we continue to deal with the virus, as we continue to deal with the upheaval in society, things just aren't the same. We can't get together with family. We can't celebrate the way that we are used to. But this Advent season is that time that we step back, that time that we refocus and we look at the gift that God wants to give us. Do you realize that Advent, it is a waiting period. It is that time that we're waiting for Christ to come into the world in a new way. But in amongst our waiting, God wants to give us gifts. Gifts of hope, peace, joy, and love. Never lose sight of those gifts that God wants to give us in such a special way. This week we celebrate the gift of joy. What is joy? Joy is being able to have that inner peace, that hope that Christ is bringing. And joy is that we know where our salvation comes from. It is connecting to this God who loves us, this God who can raise us above everything that is going on. Joy is an inner joy. It is a connection to Christ in a new way. And so as we celebrate this week of focusing in on that joy that God wants to give us, we can realize just how happy we can be. That amongst everything that is going on, we have a God who loves us so much that he is with us every step of the way. You know, as a kid, when we used to come down and see those presents under the tree and to experience that Christmas morning, I thought that was the happiest joy there was. To come down, half the living room was nothing but packages, and you would sit and you would wait as they would call out name after name after name after name, and you would just wait for your name to be called. Then they would hand you that present, and you would go over and you would tear into it to see what's inside. Opening the present was just as much fun as it was to see what was in there. There was so much joy. Is that the way we celebrate what God wants to give us? Do we anticipate and look forward to all of these gifts that God gives us day in and day out? Do we look for the joy and to rip open this package and to say, okay, God, what do you have planned for me today? How are you going to give me the gift of yourself, wrapped up in the events of my life, wrapped up in the people that you have put in my life? Because no matter what, I know that because you're in my life, there is joy. And we get to celebrate that joy. Thank you for taking time to watch this Advent calendar, to celebrate the gifts that God wants to give us. May we continue to enjoy those gifts that God wants, and may we all celebrate this year different than every other year, but may we really focus on how much God really loves us and how much God has done for each one of us in giving us the gifts of himself.